Hello Psychics, and welcome to episode 49 of Learn Tarot with me for free. Today we're doing the Page of Swords in the Minor Arcana, a message to do with communication. And just as I start doing the video, they close my throat chakra, which just proves the point again. Now you can use any deck of cards for this, but I'm using the Gilded Tarot and the Arcanum Tarot to show you the differences. And I always see differences in these two decks. So it's whatever you're intuitively guided to. And I always call on three major archangels when I'm tuning in with cards or doing a reading of any kind, because when we tune in with the angels, we operate from our higher self and we're not afraid to speak clearly everything that is coming to us through a psychic insight. So we call on Archangel Raziel, the angel of psychic gifts and insights. We call on Archangel Uriel, the illuminator of heaven, to illuminate our minds and allow divine guidance to pop in there. And we call on the angel of communication, Archangel Gabriel, to allow us to relay everything that we are seeing, feeling, tasting, touching, everything that's coming through, so that we operate from a place of love and light. Sometimes when we're doing readings, the ego can get in if you don't call on the angels, because it'll say, oh, that isn't real, or they won't understand why you're saying that. And you just have to say what comes out of your mouth, because that's what channelings are, and that's the whole point of doing a reading. So the overall message then of the Page of Swords can mean a few things, but usually it means delayed communications, delayed messages. It can mean disappointing news, but I've never really found that. I've found it's more about delayed communications and also about starting again or starting something new, going for something brand new that may make you feel a little bit vulnerable, but you're curious and excited to start something new. So I'll show you the differences and you see what you feel and resonate with. Take notes as you're guided and let me know in the comments below what you've tuned into with this card. So we'll start with the Gilded Tarot. So this one then, as you can see, we've got like a young guy dressed in regal clothes, the colour of Archangel Michael, showing straight away that strength and understanding is coming in for this person, and he's holding the sword of truth. I feel that's the sword of truth and also the sword that cuts cords with the past. So being able to move forward and start again, even if it feels a little bit scary. It also means delayed communications, and that can be delays of any kind with any form of communication, messages, text messages, phone calls, emails, communication by voice, face to face. However, your client may be waiting for something to come in and there's necessary delays. The delays will always be necessary because everything's in divine timing. So patience is needed, and I find most of the time, like 99% of the time, when I'm doing a reading with the Gilded Tarot, this does mean delayed messages. So take what resonates with you. I find that with the Arcanum Tarot, it means something else, and I'll show you that now. So the Page of Swords in the Arcanum, as you can see, we've got another young guy. He's kind of standing there in a defensive stance with a sword there. We've got the darkness overhead, the greyness of the sky, indicating again there may be some confusion energy or fear around, but they're showing the birds there. The birds indicate freedom, that he's on a new journey, a new quest, he's moving to something new. But he's a little bit afraid, even though he's excited and curious. He's afraid because there's fear on his face, and he's holding the sword like that. So the sword will be cutting into the palm of his hand, which indicates pain, fear, a little bit of pain. It's like, you squeeze yourself when you're worried about something. So he's worried, he's feeling a bit defensive, he's not sure what's coming next, but he's very eager and curious to move forward. And they're showing the pillars there as the support that he's got from heaven on his journey. So usually when I get this card, it's connected with a young guy, usually late teens, early 20s. It could be connected with the client, so it could be the client's son or somebody young that they're connecting with. There could be some change going on in their life right now. moving forward, perhaps changing jobs, changing home, changing location. It's a bit like when you're going into the army and you're a bit afraid of what's to come. And that's what I found. I found when I'm dealing with the Arcanum, it's usually connected with a son or somebody young that's starting something new. So you'll intuitively know. The angels will guide you because that's what they do. And that's why this channel's called Guided by Angels. Because when you give it over to heaven, they will always guide you in the right direction. So whether you've got delayed communications, whether you've got a young boy ready for something new, or you've got somebody about to go into battle here, prepared, ready, fearing things, but excited at the same time, you will be guided and shown what to do. Just trust in your intuition. But ultimately, the Page of Swords, it's an interesting card. It's a good card because it means newness again. After all that pain that we've been through with the 8 of Swords, the 9 of Swords, the 10 of Swords, you're open now to a new beginning, a fresh start, and you're ready for something new. Even if you're holding the sword and it's cutting into you, you don't mind because you're ready for the changes ahead. I hope you've enjoyed this, and we'll be back tomorrow with the Knight of Swords. Have a wonderful night, and I'll see you soon.